Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on the time you're watching this live stream right now. I want to say a very, very, very special welcome to you. My name is Sylvester, and I'm the host of the Librarian Spotlight. I want to say a very, very, very special welcome to you. Just like you can see on the screen now, please do well to let us know where you're watching from. Tell us your name and where you're watching from. If you just joined this live stream for the first time, do well to let us know where you're watching from. And quickly, I'm with my mobile device now. I would love to advise that wherever you're watching from, please share this link with your friends. Just share on Facebook, share on WhatsApp. Just inform everyone that we're live. I'm doing that right now within the next 1 minute. And once I'm done with that, we can now proceed with the program. So please share this live stream. Tell us your name, where you're watching from. Tell us what your expectations are for this program. In the meantime, I think let me hand over to my co-host, who will be doing that for us. She's here right now, and I would like to invite Victoria Edozie to welcome our guests. Good evening,
Hello,
Victoria.
everyone. Thank you so much. I am so delighted to be in this program. I don't know about you, but I'm so delighted. This is the third edition of the Librarian Spotlight, and if you've been joining us from the first edition, you will agree with me that it has been back to back, amazing time, back to back. So I want you to get your pen and papers ready, because this program is set to bring enlightenment from various angles. If you're a student, you're a professional, and you're just anybody who is expecting to grab so many knowledge, please, this is a program you have to be. My name is Victoria Edozie, also known as the Librarian of the Now, and I'll be your co-host for today. All right, so do well to drop where you're calling from, where you're chatting us from, or watching us from this evening, and we'll be sending you, we'll be streaming you, and spreading the word around. Okay, so just before we go on, I've already mentioned that the Librarian Spotlight is a monthly program where we spotlight professionals who are doing well in the field of librarianship. Okay, and today we are privileged to have no other person than Mr. Kepi Madumo, and he's coming all the way from South Africa. He happens to be one person that I have read so much about just because of this program, and I'm telling you, I am already delighted. So just before we go, I'm going to go on a short commercial break. I'll be right back. So please stay with us. Amazing. You're welcome back. I can see Titi Talayo from Lagos State. You're here already. And many other people who are in the comment section. So you're welcome to be your co-host. Now presenting to the host. Who wants to know the host? Of course, we know about the host. We've met the host before. But I especially want to present him to us this evening. All right, so Mr. Sylvester Ebono happens to be my coach. So I'll be very, very real. I met him during my service here as a copper. Yes. And he has been one person I learned from Okay, and I really he's someone that is passionate about students, is passionate about professionals, is passionate about this course, and I look forward to him every time. He has been there for me, and he has been there for many others in this field of librarianship, as long as this field of librarianship is concerned. And so I am delighted to have Mr. Sylvester co-host this event with Mr. Sylvester Egodo. You are highly welcome, sir, as he takes the stage from here. Welcome once more, Coach Sylvester Egodo. You're highly welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Victoria. Thank you so much for that wonderful welcome and for acknowledging and giving a shout out to all those who are watching right now. It's exactly 5 minutes past 7 p.m. Nigerian time. I think in South Africa it's 8 p.m. right now. So it's exactly 5 minutes past 1905. That's 1900. So I would like to quickly say that we still have some time to recognize those who are watching. I see Adrian Moswell. I also see I see Bukola. So we really want to give a shout out because we sent out special invitations to so many librarians across Africa, and we would like to give a special shout out to every one of you. Immediately you come, please do not fail to let us know where you're watching from, and then we'll give you a special shout out. And I'm delighted to also inform you that Mr. Kepi Madumo is backstage right now, and that gives me so much excitement of what we are expecting here today. So let me just give us a quick run through on what to expect in today's program. So today, like what we are having right now is the item number one, which should end by 5 minutes past 7, the opening formalities, and we will proceed for a short break and then introduce the Librarian of the Month for April. So once that is done, we will go into the interview proper. So before we introduce the Librarian of the month of April, please pardon me. I would like to take a very short message from one of the companies that provide support for us in our online activities. They are here right now, and it's a very short message, and I would like us to quickly watch this message. We've also notified YouTube about this short advertorial.
Most organizations and libraries often face rigorous challenges when it comes to digitizing their collections, especially the limitations of traditional scanning equipment. But I would like to quickly introduce a perfect solution for libraries and librarians watching across the globe right now. With state-of-the-art technological solutions, eMidiba Limited, a mass digitization solution provider, trusted by leading institutions across Africa and beyond, is transforming the way organizations now handle their projects. Whether it's a large book or a delicate manuscript, eMidiba scanners no doubt can handle it all with ease and precision. So, if you're ready to take your library's digitization efforts to the next level, look no further than eMidiba Limited.
Digitizing your library's materials has never been easier. Say goodbye to the frustrations of using inefficient equipment and reach out to a new partner in digitization. Visit eMidiba Limited website or speak with an agent today through the contact information displayed on your screen.
Okay, welcome back everyone. Welcome back everyone. So it's almost 10 minutes past 1900. And we are about to get into the interview that has brought everyone here today. So like I said, if you're watching this, joining us for the first time, please introduce yourself, tell us where you're watching from. Also share this stream, share this video with your friends on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on Twitter, everywhere. Just share this video and let them come on board. Let them know that Mr. Kepi is here. So without further ado, permit me to introduce to us a veteran. I just prefer to use that word, a seasoned executive. He's here with us in the studio right now, and I want to invite him. Immediately he comes on board. Our technical team, we've made, there's a short documentary of his citation that we're going to play to introduce who the man Kepi is. So, good evening, Mr. Kepi Madumo.
Good evening, Sylvester and Victoria and viewers at home in different parts of the world. And good morning to some and good day to some. Thank you. I'm excited.
Thank you so much. We are glad. It's a great honor to have you here. Yeah, it's a great honor to have you here. So the next voice you hear will be the voice of our crew. Introducing Mr. Kepi Madumo.
Introducing our distinguished librarian of the month for April 2024, Mr. Kepi Madumo, a veteran in the field of library and information science. Since 2019, he has served as the National Librarian and Chief Executive Officer of the National Library of South Africa.
At the age of 27, Kepi was appointed the Director of the Provincial Library and Information Services in the Northwest Province, South Africa. With a remarkable career spanning over 2 decades, Mr. Madumo has held several senior leadership positions, solidifying his reputation as a seasoned executive. Notably, Kepi's impact extended to the National Department of Social Development, where he excelled as the Director of Information Management. Kepi Madumo holds a master's degree in Library and Information Studies from the University of Cape Town, an honors degree in Information Studies from the University of Johannesburg, and a bachelor's degree in LIS from the University of Limpopo. Along with several executive leadership, business and finance programs under his belt, his dedication to continuous learning and professional growth is evident. His exceptional abilities propelled him to a strategic executive director in the Department of Sport, Recreation, Arts, Culture and Libraries for the city of Tshwane, and later as executive director in the Department of Community Development for the city of Johannesburg. Additionally, he served as the divisional head of strategy, research and organization performance at the city of Ekurhuleni. Mr. KP is deeply committed to professional development and mentorship. He has held roles in various professional associations, including Council Representative for the South African Library and Information Association, LISA, and Treasurer for the LISA Public and Community Libraries Interest Group. Additionally, he serves as a mentor at the Afia Leadership Academy, reflecting his dedication to nurturing future leaders and sharing his expertise to help them succeed. Mr. Madumo holds influential positions globally, serving on committees such as South African Bureau of Standards ISO Technical Committee and chairing the Afia National Library section. He leads the Standing Conference for African National and University Librarians for Eastern, Central and Southern Africa and is a fellow of the United States Department International Visitor Leadership Program.
Our dear viewers, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in receiving a seasoned executive, one whose commitment in advancing the field of librarianship and his tireless efforts in promoting social cohesion through libraries make him a deserving honoree for the Librarian of the month of April 2024, Mr. Kepi Madumo.
Wow. Mr. Kepi, you're welcome, sir. Welcome. What an amazing profile. What an amazing, outstanding achievement, accomplishment so far. So thank you so much for finding time to join us here this evening. Thank you so much, sir. You're welcome.
Thank you, Sylvester. I'm excited.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, sir, we are going to be going down to business right immediately because I know many people, many librarians and information professionals across Africa, they've been looking forward to these days, and I believe one of the questions that would be on their minds could be, how did Madumo get here? all this profile and everything that's been read. How did this man get here? How did he achieve all these things? So I think it's best to start like this. If you could please just share some insight into your journey of becoming the CEO and the National Librarian of the National Library of South Africa. Just fill us in on your journey into that position, sir.
No, thank you. I think my leadership journey started way back in 2002 when I was appointed a director of provincial library services in the Northwest Province. In South Africa, we have 9 provinces, and Northwest was one of the provinces where I entered the leadership journey. And the fortunate part of being part of that leadership cohort at the time, I think I was the youngest, and we had a forum of heads of provincial library services. And in the second year of my tenure, I was elected to be the chairperson of that forum. And I recall very well the colleagues at the time, they said, Kepi, you are the youngest amongst us, and we want to pass the baton to you. And it was, and when you look at the workplace today, and I find myself of being fortunate to be part of the 5th generation of in the workplace. I mean, I worked with the generation that we normally called the traditionalists. I think at that time, majority of them, they were almost nearer their exit of their working profession. And I mean, you have the mixture of your baby boomers, where I mean, it was a good fountain of knowledge where one had to learn. And since then, I managed to have opportunities when they arose, and as your technical team indicated, I moved through up the ranks. I joined the local government, where I was able to lead multiple discipline other than library services alone, but libraries remained part of the functions that I oversaw. And yes, basically in South Africa, I worked in the 3 big metros in our country, which are the hub of economic drivers. And in South Africa, I mean, the city of Tshwane is where our capital city is. The city of Johannesburg is the economic hub of South Africa. And the city of Ekurhuleni, that's where you land when you come to South Africa. That's where our major international airport is located.
Resides.
It's not located in Johannesburg. It's located in the city of Ekurhuleni. And since then, the rest is history. I'm the national librarian.
Yes, exactly. the rest is history.
Yes,
that becomes a legacy. Yeah.
Thank you. And I think I was given an opportunity by those who believed in my abilities, and I think since then I believe that leaders are born every day, and we need to give people opportunities to assume these responsibilities. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for taking us through that journey through. And I see you had a lot to do with some governmental top top executive positions in South Africa there. So at the point, I was about asking if you were you were having anything to do with libraries as at that time, but until you mentioned that libraries was still at the core of everything that you were doing. And when you were talking about South Africa and the place South Africa, something just came to my mind, and it's about everything I've learned about South Africa, especially the library system in South Africa recently. I think last month, was it 3 weeks ago, you celebrated your National Library Week, sir. I don't know if I'm correct there.
Yes, yes. We
Yes, sir.
celebrated
And what I Yes, sorry, please. There was something I saw. There's a particular video I saw that was trending on the social media space. And I don't know, I would like you to speak to that video because I saw librarians dancing. Because we in Nigeria, we had carried out a similar campaign, tagged the Librarians Challenge, only for me to find out that South Africa were doing something like this. Yes. Wow. So that I was wondering, what inspired that, because it really got to me. I'm pushed to ask. The theme centered around your Library Week celebration was social cohesion. So, how do you believe libraries can further contribute to promoting social cohesion, and what has inspired that particular dance in South Africa?
Yes, I think the Amapiano music, it's a very popular genre of music in South
Yeah.
Africa, and I think it transcends across all borders. I mean, last year I was in Amsterdam during IFLA, and in every corner where I walked, I mean, they were playing Amapiano. And I think it's I mean, as we know that they say music is the universal language, and what inspired that dance hashtag, it was primarily I think our PRO for Liasa. I think she came up with this concept to say, let's emulate the social code to show people that libraries are for everyone. And this kind of music is popular amongst young kids, young youth, and basically we call it the zigzag dance, for sure, kind of. And it was basically to show that libraries are for everybody, to bring that fun. And we know that our youth identify more with digital environment and all that. And I think this hashtag was basically trying to demonstrate that, there's still fun in libraries. Come visit libraries and promoting social cohesion.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. That was a really very interesting one. And there's something, though I've never been to South Africa, but there's something I love about South Africa. Even before I got to learn about you and the wonderful work you've done at the National Library of South Africa. And one thing I know about South Africa is the sustainability of your heritage, culture, how you pride in that, and how well you guard it so well that and that you pass it to the next generation. But because of internet, that's what has helped me to learn much of these things that your library is doing in South Africa. And I think let me just expose our viewers to also see a little bit of what I'm talking about here before we ask you the next question, sir.
Introducing our distinguished library.
Oh, sorry.
The National Library of South Africa, NLSA, is the custodian of South Africa's collective national documented heritage and national depository of published output materials in the country. Mandated by the National Library of South Africa Act 92 of 1998, the National Library of South Africa collects and preserves published documents and makes them accessible to all. In so doing, knowledge is preserved for posterity and that information is available to all.
All right. I just wanted people to have a glimpse of this National Library of South Africa we're talking about. So the question is, I know how cumbersome it is for many countries, many national libraries to collect the research output, publications within the country. So I want to find out, sir, what strategy do you use to engage publishers, to engage authors, to ensure compliance with the mandatory legal deposit law? Because you would agree with me that the National Library should have copies, specific copies of publication, government publication, individual publication. What strategies, how do you ensure this to sustain your heritage and culture in South Africa, sir?
Look, the issue of compliance to the Legal Deposit Act of our country, it's very paramount to our business, because if we are not collecting this documentary heritage, we are basically denying the future generation of the wealth of this knowledge that has been produced and published in the country. And then we make concerted effort to ensure that, firstly, on a quarterly basis, we go to provinces to run workshops, to sensitize and create awareness about the importance of legal deposit. And we also visit the book fairs in the country to ensure that we sensitize publishers, especially yourself publishers, and to understand the importance of legal deposit. And that exercise helps us a lot because even during book launch, we are able to bring boxes of books that we have collected during book fairs. And that strategy works for us. And then the publishers and authors are very cooperative, because as soon as we make them aware, they fully understand the importance of legal deposit. I'll give just a practical example. One professor approached us. He used to contribute to a newspaper column, and for some time, his laptop was stolen, and he lost all the data and the information, and even some of those manuscripts that he submitted to those various newspapers. And he was so worried, and because he went to the newspaper houses, and they told him that, you know what, we don't keep back copies. And when he arrived at the National Library to get all his past newspaper article, he was so excited. And I think that's when people realize the importance of preservation.
Wow, that's amazing. That illustrate example, practical example actually drives home the point. That's really beautiful. Prof, I would like to quickly, there's a question here from one of our viewers that is really very important that I would like to spotlight for you here. And it's coming from someone you might know. It's a professor. She's a professor of, should I say a professor of inclusivity? Professor Yetunde Z is asking a question. The university librarian of the University of Lagos. She she says, interesting. Thank you, Mr. Kepi, for sharing knowledge. How inclusive, that's why I said she's a professor of inclusivity. How inclusive is the South Africa National Library, especially for those with disabilities and multicultural communities? So, what's the level of inclusivity? How do you make the library accessible to people with who are disabled? Or yes, so I think that's the question, sir.
No, thanks. Our library, we have two campuses. The National Library, the head office in Pretoria, and the other campus is in Cape Town. I think both campuses are easily accessible. Firstly, in terms of location, the public can easily access both our campuses using either mode of transport, and in terms of the facility itself, in South Africa, we are compelled to make sure that all public buildings are accessible to people with disability, where you must make sure that there's no hindrance, and we fully comply to that. And in terms of for the visually impaired, we work closely with our sister entity, the South African Library for the Blind. The South African Library for the Blind is one of the unique library, I can say, in the continent. Actually, it reaches out to other parts of the continent because they do braille services for people to read from our books. So we work very close with them, and even that service, they extend it to public libraries throughout the country. In South Africa, we have almost close to 1,900 public libraries, and that service basically also is extended to those communities who cannot reach the National Library or the South African Library for the Blind.
Wow, that's really amazing what you do for those with visual challenges, and even though other forms of disability. It's really amazing to learn about that. Your library embraces all that. So permit me, I would like for us to quickly go into another very important question that's related to what your library is doing in terms of digitization. Earlier in this video, coincidentally, I don't know how, we advertised one of our sponsors, eMedida, who provides digitization services. And when I went through the NLSA YouTube channel, I saw a lot of digitization work that the National Library of Nigeria is into. So it just gradually begins to explain to me how you are able to sustain your cultural heritage over there in South Africa. So maybe I should just play the video shortly for our viewers. It's a short one. Let's just see this.
Digital technology is becoming more and more prevalent in the management of collections in libraries. When the world grappled with the COVID-19 pandemic in early 2020, libraries worldwide faced a serious challenge of closing their doors to the public. The NLSA realized the importance of embracing digital technologies to facilitate remote access to library collections. The conversions of items from print to digital format is associated with enormous costs, equipment, and human capital. It is on this basis that the NLSA applied for funding from President Cyril Ramaphosa's Presidential Employment Stimulus Project, or PESP, to digitize identified documentary collections.
Yes. PESP. So I'm going to be asking you two questions in one from that particular video, right? The first question is to learn about how you were able to secure that collaboration, the PESP. And the second question has to do with the preservation and digitization of collections in your library, because we all know that it's a very good venture to embark on such projects. And the shift towards digital has been significant in libraries worldwide. So I don't know if you could share how your library's digitization efforts, particularly during COVID-19, as though I couldn't play the complete video, that period, how has it defined access to and the preservation of the documented heritage in South Africa? So how has this digitalization helped, especially during the COVID-19 period, and how you were able to achieve this seamlessly? Pardon me for using different words all in one.
No, thank you very much, Sylvester. I think we were fortunate enough when that opportunity arose because we were asked to submit a business plan to gain funding that was made available at the time of COVID. And we were fortunate to get the grant. It was 30 million South African rands. And that 30 million basically assisted us because we were also worried during the lockdown that the users are not able to access our collection. And as you know, that majority of National Library collection, especially in Africa, is still in paper format, and the collection the internet content collection in Africa, we know when you read, they tell you that Africa only contribute 5% to the internet, and I think that was an opportunity for us under the misery of COVID at the time to gain access to these resources as provided by our government. And firstly, for the National Library, it assisted us to modernize our services and to acquire this much needed equipment. And I think we call them our legacy equipment. And in addition to that, it also helped us or provided an opportunity for your unemployed library and information science graduate to be trained and to be capacitated to enter into the digitization space. And because you'll realize that the digital space, most of universities are not teaching digitization, and these are some of the skills that employers provide for the newly recruits when they enter the workplace. And we were able to appoint almost close to 400 unemployed LIS graduates, and I can tell you now that majority of those students, they are fully or they gain full employment after participating in our program. And when you talk about the preservation, and the National Library of South Africa, in partnership with IFLA, International Federation for Library Association, we are one of the IFLA Preservation Center in the Sub-Saharan area, and our endeavor is to also capacitate other librarians in the region who don't have these facilities. They can utilize, we provide training, and they can come and learn within our space. And I think that's our responsibility as an IFLA PEC center to capacitate and train librarians in disaster management and preservation.
Wow. So thank you so much for that wonderful response to that question. So there's a question on the screen right now that I would love to share with you. But so I would like to, there's something you talked about your library that even in the video that I played earlier, the last part of the video, I saw 3 different wonderful edifices. 3 magnificent building. I want to believe that those are the branch libraries. I think in the video I heard it said that's where the National Library actually operates from. And I can't help but admire those remarkable edifices. And I have one very important question to ask in line with that, especially considering the challenges that we face in Nigeria currently, with respect to the National Library of Nigeria in securing a purpose-built building. While we celebrate your achievements, your collaboration with the government is quite obvious. I see that the National Library has a lot of collaboration with the Department of Sports and Culture and something. I can't remember that department, but I see that your library has a lot of collaboration and workings to do with this government parastatal. And this just explains and proves the point that supportive government can greatly enhance the state of libraries. Imagine how you said that, was it 80 million you talked about the grant that you got? And this cannot just happen when you don't have a supportive government. So with this in mind, what recommendations would you offer to librarians and government officials in countries that are facing similar challenges like the one Nigeria is currently facing?
Look, I think one thing that we do best as librarian is advocacy. And my advice to colleagues is that let us not stop knocking on the doors of our principals, especially those decision makers who make decisions about the pairs, the resources. I think that will be our first point of contact. And one thing that we did as AFLIA and IFLA in the continent was to bring together the ministers responsible for libraries in the continent. I think on 3 occasions, we started here in Cape Town, our former minister, Natim Tetwa, when we hosted IFLA, he hosted the African ministers responsible for arts and culture, particular libraries, and again, I think twice here in Durban and Cape Town, and the last one was in Ghana. And I think those are the efforts that AFLIA is advocating as part of the advocacy to make sure that we continue to advocate for libraries to our politicians so that they understand the important role that library play in advancement of our societies. And yes, it's not a cheap service. Running libraries is very expensive, and it's upon our government because it's part of education, and lifelong education needs investment so that you can prevent other future challenges if issues of literacy are not addressed, because you want well-informed communities and societies that can participate meaningfully in our democracy. But if we deny them the opportunity to learn and to read and to be informed, I think we are denying our communities this opportunity, and I think we are committing a serious crime. Thank you.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Sir, I want to inform you that we have a couple of questions from our participants or viewers right now. So I'm just going to be asking us because we are on the time. We will be taking the questions very quickly. So I'm going to start with one very quick question that someone asked here. The question is a funny but very important one, and this is it from Abubakar Usman. It says, what steps do you put in place to minimize book theft in your library? Book theft in your library. Okay. Should I take the other question or you just take it quickly and then
Yeah.
I should take the other question, sir?
Yes, please.
Okay. Then the other question is also a very quick question. That question is coming from Dr. Tone Oyelude. She's a librarian in the University of Ibadan. She says, do you accept librarians for sabbaticals in your national library? So I think you should take these two questions before we go to Dr. Onya's question.
Can you repeat the last one, Sylvester?
Okay, the last question here from Dr. Oyelude says, do you accept librarians for sabbaticals in your national library, like sabbatical service, where
Okay.
librarians come to, yeah, for 1 year? So those are the two questions, sir.
Yes, maybe let me start with the last one. Yes, we do accept as long as they are self-funded. We do accept librarians to come and learn and partake in share experiences with our colleagues. And the second part is that how do we minimize or prevent theft in our libraries? We have measures put in place. I mean, your book detection systems in our libraries basically helps us to minimize theft. I'm not, yeah, I can safely say it helps us to minimize. You know, when criminals are prepared to commit the crime, they are very creative, but the maximum measures that we have is in place to ensure that we prevent the stealing and books walking away from the library.
From the library. Yes. But pardon me, I would like to add this because from my research about South African libraries, most South African libraries, I've noticed library users, they come into the library with their bags. Unlike some libraries, one of the reasons the strategies they want to use to protect books from walking out from the library is to tell you not to take your bags into the library. But from even some of the videos I saw on your channel, I noticed users were carrying their bags into the library. And I told myself that there must be a technology. Could you please just share with us clearly? I think that's why that person is asking the question. What's the technology and how do you go about that to allow people with their bags into the library?
Yes, you are correct. I think we invested a lot in the book detection system. I think we have a couple of service providers in South Africa who are selling these products to our librarian to our libraries. So you are correct. I think we basically stopped searching library books, library bags, patrons' bags in the library, and as I indicated earlier, that the technology that is in place is able to provide some maximum security in terms of ensuring that users are able to bring in their own books in the library, and also we not leave with the library books that are not properly checked out or properly loaned within the circulation desk.
Okay. Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can.
Hello, sir.
Can you hear me?
Are you there, sir?
Can you hear me?
Is it my network? Hello, sir.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I think the
I think it's the network from your side, Sylvester.
sir. Hello. I'm so sorry
Yes, you
about
are
that.
back. You are back.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. The internet connectivity here, it just went blank, and I'm so sorry about that. I was just about we have just two questions to go. Just the Librarian of the Month award to Mr. Kepi. So once again, I want to thank everyone who is watching right now. Please do well to hit the comment button. Let us know where you're watching. If you have questions, just drop them quickly because we're about rounding up. And also like this video, subscribe to this channel, and let us know where you're watching from. Sir, I have one very important question from Dr. Gladys Onya, who is the University Librarian of Admiralty University. She is asking, she says, the question is on the screen, but she says, may we be enlightened, sir, Kepi, on your level of adaptability of escapist reading syndrome, which enhances reading culture in young knowledge seekers of the internet age. I'll just take that again. Escapist reading syndrome. You know, some people they just come to the library to want to
Yeah.
run away and dive into the books. So, what is your level of adaptability of this, and if you believe it enhances reading culture, sir?
Yeah. We in last year we conducted a national survey in South Africa around the reading habits of South Africans. And what was interesting is that one of the findings was that majority of the people who read on digital platforms, they didn't regard themselves as readers. And I think the question that Doc is asking is basically trying to make people aware that there are other channels or mediums of reading, especially for young people. We know that young people are quite explorative, especially with this technology. And we have seen a lot of early childhood reading material being made available in digital platform. In South Africa, we have seen that a lot. There are quite a lot of storytelling books that are available online, and early childhood centers are some of the institutions where our young librarians are able to reach to those ECD centers. I think when you visit some of our provincial library services website and you look at their libraries, you will see how some of your technology savvy librarians are utilizing technology to inculcate the culture of reading among young kids and the caregivers. So it's a very exciting opportunity, and we know that traditionalists still believe that books will remain the form of reading platforms, but digital technology and books, for me, they will coexist for some time. So we need to adapt to this changing technological advancement and innovation within our reading space.
Thank you so much. So, having gotten to this stage, I would like to announce to our viewers that we are about taking. I'm going to be taking my final questions. I have 2 questions left, but because there's a question here from Dr. Basil Iwiwu. So his question is actually also very straightforward. What is the position of your library in integrating artificial intelligence, AI, in library services, particularly with the impression that it encourages laziness in critical thinking and research? So what's the level of integrating AI?
I'm one person who regards artificial intelligence as one of the opportunity that the workplace is faced with in a positive way, because for me is about improving productivity. You will not rely on artificial intelligence to catalog our books. I still believe that human beings still need to make certain decisions in the cataloging decision-making process. But from productivity point of view, yes, I always say that workers who don't want to embrace artificial intelligence, they are doing that in their own peril, because artificial intelligence is here, and we are look from the research point of view. I think we have the responsibility to teach our students and our researchers on the ethical use of artificial intelligence. People should not abuse, plagiarize, and not acknowledge resources that they are provided with through these tools. And I think as librarians, I think we have the responsibility to still teach our users on the ethical use of these platforms and tools. Like I said earlier, we'll coexist.
Okay, thank you so much. Please go on with that point, sir. You said we coexist with.
I think we'll coexist with technology. I mean, when you look at our history of libraries, we moved from automation of the cataloged. We now at an advanced stage, artificial intelligence, is here, and it's basically we need to work very close with our colleagues in the IT space to bring elements that we need to be improved within our processes within the workplace.
Thank you so much. So, librarians and information professionals watching right now, Mr. Kepi says we need to collaborate with IT professionals to enhance our work. We don't have to be at fight and loggerheads with these people. We must work together and to achieve the collective library goal. So, having said that, While I take my final questions, it's with respect to your contributions extending beyond South Africa, considering your role as member of the governing council of AFLIA and playing so many important roles in AFLIA. Considering AFLIA's effort also, I don't know about other institutions across Africa, but it seems some institutions, they are yet to register with AFLIA. Some of them, they are yet to understand the importance of association. So as a stakeholder, sir, could you shed light on some of the benefits of that institutions that and librarians that they stand to gain by identifying with associations like AFLIA, the National Library Association, etc. So how it could potentially transform their service delivery and impact. Just a very quick one before my final question.
Now, look, AFLIA is basically we say AFLIA is a trusted voice for African libraries in the continent. And strategically, AFLIA embarks on high-level advocacies for our libraries and our National Library Association. And we have been responsible for ensuring that we are a global partner with related organizations, and we basically ensure that we influence policies which promote the development of the African library and information sector. And in that spirit, we encourage institutions, library institutions in the continent to affiliate, to be a member of AFLIA, because they then become a critical stakeholder in the sense that they, as a member, you are able to take very important decisions within the membership collectively in the general assembly, and we ensure that we capacitate librarians time and again. The AFLIA Academy provide those much needed capacity, and then we learn amongst ourselves as colleagues. And I think AFLIA is a young organization, almost 10 years old, but we have achieved so much since its inception. And then we definitely encourage our colleagues to be a member so that they can participate and have the right in our annual general meetings, when also volunteer in some of the positions that are always made available through elections. And it's about advancing librarianship in the continent. And we know that in our own region, we still have our professional library associations, which are also affiliate to the AFLIA as a body in the continent. I think it's basically to bring us together as colleagues in the continent so that we can learn and share experiences amongst ourselves.
Amazing, wonderful to know. I know not everyone knew about this. So thank you so much. So my final question, sir, there seems to be many young librarians I know that are watching right now, and there are some who may have been losing the passion to work. So I don't know, I would like to ask the question in this manner. What advice would you give to young professionals, even those who find themselves into 5 years, 10 years into the profession, library and information science? What advice would you give to them? And to those who are aspiring to be librarians in a time like now, where many people feel that this is not a course or discipline you should go and study at all, what would you advise to such category of people, sir?
Look, I think for the young librarians who are aspiring, especially those who are still students or who just completed their studies, go out there, knock on the doors, seek internships, volunteer yourselves, and get part-time opportunities in libraries and related institutions so that you are able to gain the practical experience and insight into the profession. And secondly, also embrace technology, especially those who have entered the profession. I think let's be inquisitive, let's have an inquisitive mind, let's embrace technology, and let's make sure that we are proficient in utilizing technology in our space. And lastly, I would advise that building a professional network with colleagues, it's very important. And I know a lot of library association, they will have a chapter for students, they will have a chapter for the unemployed, where the membership in most cases will be quite affordable with discount. And those opportunities that you get by participating in those and volunteer, I think one thing that I can advise colleagues is that some of us, we are here where we are because throughout our careers as young professionals, we offered ourselves, we volunteered our services to even within the profession, even when we are still working. We continue to pay for ourselves to attend conferences when our employers were telling us that there's no budget. And then you say, because it's that network that you build by meeting your colleagues in these gatherings, I can tell you it lasts a long way. All my professional colleagues in all over the world, I established those by attending conferences. Like I indicated, some of them were self-funded conferences, and you will never regret.
So much. With this, I have a lot of other questions. I see there are some questions I haven't taken here, but we have run out of time. And this has been a very interesting session. We have one more activity to do to announce Mr. Kepi as the Librarian of the Month. And doing that will be, I don't think I can bear that responsibility alone. I have an amazing person here, the chairman of the Librarian Spotlight Evaluation Committee. She's right here backstage, and she is going to be doing that assignment with me. She's also going to be inviting. So I know you don't know, but we have arranged a surprise guest. There's someone here that is going to surprise you. Yes, that person will be announcing you as the Librarian of the Month. But just before the person comes up, I'm going to ask you a question that you did not expect to hear, sir. So, and that question is this: what is a surprising fact about your day-to-day work life that people would never guess about the role of a national librarian?
Look, on a day-to-day, when I go to the office, I think the first 1.5 hours before I do anything, I immerse myself into reading. I just catch up, and before even I start reading my emails, I'll just identify a reading topic a day before, and when I arrive in the office, I quickly do that reading, and from there I start planning my day. And yes, and in between there will be disturbances, people knocking on your door, agently wanting to see you, and you need to leave your job and attend to them. And, as we always say that I have an open door policy, but it can be very disruptive. And yes, but I think self-care for me is very important. I always make sure that I keep abreast on before I start everything on a daily basis, because for me that's very important to know what's happening in the world. And
Okay, thank you so much. So that was the quick question I wanted to ask. So having said that, I've been asked the final question. I want to welcome. Mind you, I'm already at the ceremony right now, but you found some time for this. You are live, and we hand over this session. So welcome, Madam Shadi.
Good evening, my Oga Kepi. Good evening, Sylvester.
Good evening, Madam Shadi. What a surprise.
My coach, I call you Coach Kepi, my mentor. Good evening, sir. I buried my grandmother today. I'm in the village. I just buried my grandmom. But I said for Oga Kepi, I will do everything to join this call. Good evening, sir.
Good evening and condolences to you and your family for the loss of your grandma.
Thank you very much, sir. Oga Kepi, thank you for agreeing to come on board today to share your wealth of knowledge with us. I've learned a lot from you from the past, and I'm still learning from you, and I will continue to learn from you. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you, and I pray for continuous good health for you, sir. Thank you for coming. We have a mystery guest today. It's a mystery guest for you. But sadly, Sylvester has just left the platform. His network is bad. I'm sure he's going to join us in the next 2 minutes so he can unravel the guest. So, to the audience, my coach, Coach Kepi, I call him Oga Kepi. Oga Kepi is Aflia's greatest gift to me because I met Oga Kepi from Aflia and he has been a great mentor. I call him, I ask questions from him, and anytime I call Oga, Oga will answer me. Oga Kepi, thank you. So, we have a mystery guest for you. Sylvester, over to you. Unveil our guest, Oga Kepi.
Thank you, Chairman,
Right.
Chairperson, for that. And I remember my visiting
our surprise
Nigeria.
guest is here.
Oga Kepi.
Hey, hey, how are you?
I'm fine.
So, Oga Kepi, so we have your mentee, Nangap, the ship online for you.
Oh my God! Hey, great leader. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. That's great.
I'm good to see you.
Yeah. Wow. I'm
Amazing.
honored.
So Mr. Naga, please over to you. So because we're
wow, I'm honored and it's a great privilege to be here today. Well, I've known Mr. Kepi Madumo for about 5 years now through a program organized by AFLIA. He has been a mentor with exceptional leadership qualities. Acknowledging his outstanding is a great achievement, and I'm not surprised by that. So a certificate in recognition of being named Librarian of the Month is proudly awarded to Mr. Kepi Madumo. Your exemplary achievements and exceptional contributions to the field of library and information science have garnered widespread admiration. The Library Spotlight acknowledges and celebrate you on this day, 13th April 2024. This certificate comes with a plaque. Your exemplary achievements and exceptional contributions to the fields of library and information science have garnered widespread admiration. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much for the honor.
Yeah.
To the chairperson and the committee which selected me, and to you, my brother. I see you are also doing great things in Nigeria, and as a leader, and Madam Shade, yes, we are proud of you and what AFLIA has managed to do to colleagues. We are really proud. Thank you very much for the honor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. We are proud of you, sir.
We want to thank you very much.
We love you, sir.
Yes.
So thank you.
Yeah. So at this point, I would invite Miss Victoria to take any announcements, any information or appreciation to our viewers before we give the further before we close the program for tonight. Victoria, are you there?
All right. I am so amazed. Like, thank you so much, sir, for coming. I really personally, I was so inspired and educated. I wrote down a lot. I happen to just be, I just finished serving Nigeria, my country, and I look forward to many wonderful things I'll be doing in the field of library and information science. So thank you so much for inspiring the young ones like us to continue in this field of librarianship. If you're a student here, don't give up in the field of librarianship. Librarianship is interesting. It's not boring. That's one of the things that Mr. Kepi said that I held dear to. So I want to let you all know that I'm enjoying myself. I am enjoying myself. The fact that we can dance as librarians, we are not just bookworms. We can dance. It made me feel so happy. Yeah, so it's not a boring place, please. It's not a boring course at all. So I want you to join us because we have many more professionals that will be coming up subsequently. So I want us to do well to attend subsequent episodes of the Librarian Spotlight to be featuring lots and lots of personalities, wonderful personalities, just like Mr. Kepi Madumo. Once more, we say thank you so much for making it a time out here, out of your busy schedule. Thank you so much, and we do not take it for granted. Thank you so much, Auntie Shade. Thank you so much to our surprise guest. Thank you so much to our special guest. Thank you so much to the host. See you next time, next month on the Librarian Spotlight. Thank you.
All right. Before that, I would like to quickly appreciate one more thing before we go. I would like to appreciate our crew. I would like to appreciate the Evaluation Committee, African Librarians Watching, the Nigerian Library Association, our sponsor, Imidiba Limited, also LibTech, who has also been supportive of our course. We want to say thank you. Please go back and watch this video as a replay, and you will see the technology solution that Imidiba brings to everyone. So I want us to quickly trust these companies, and you'll be glad that you did. For those of you who would like to learn more about artificial intelligence, subscribe to this channel, and we'll do our best to see how to provide some coaching for you. So I don't know, any final words, Mr. Kepi Madumo?
Thank you very much, Sylvester and Victoria, and the chairperson and my mentee. I think one thing that I want to encourage colleagues is get yourself a mentor. It's very important. And yeah, I must say to Sylvester, we are looking forward for collaborations and partnerships across the borders, and let's continue this network and learn from each other. Thank you very much, colleagues, and good evening.
Thank you
Thank
so
you, sir.
much, and good evening. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone. So drop your comments, share this video after now, subscribe to this channel, and God bless you so much. Do have a great night.
And maybe perhaps
You wanted to
Investor,
say
can I
something?
request that maybe those questions that we are not able to answer, you can share with me, and then we can respond.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. I'll share with you privately. I'll get your response, and then I'll put it on your response on social media for others to learn from.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And good night.
Most organizations and libraries often face rigorous challenges when it comes to digitizing their collections, especially the limitations of traditional scanning equipment. But I would like to quickly introduce a perfect solution for libraries and librarians watching across the globe right now. With state-of-the-art technological solutions, eMidiba Limited, a mass digitization solution provider, trusted by leading institutions across Africa and beyond, is transforming the way organizations now handle their projects. Whether it's a large book or a delicate manuscript, eMidiba scanners, no doubt, can handle it all with ease and precision. So, if you're ready to take your library's digitization efforts to the next level, look no further than eMidiba Limited.
Digitizing your library's materials has never been easier. Say goodbye to the frustrations of using inefficient equipment and reach out to a new partner in digitization. Visit eMidiba Limited website or speak with an agent today through the contact information displayed on your screen.
Most organizations